Good morning and welcome to Day 2 of the 2023 Australian Open presented by APA, who are proud to support the event volunteers and officials. Val Febo here with you, taking you through the second day's action here at the Broadbeach Bowls Club. Looking forward to another wonderful day of men's singles as we had yesterday. The weather is nice. There's not a cloud in the sky yet again on this glorious city of the Gold Coast. And joining me to take you through this opening match between Queensland's Robert Thwaite, or Bob Thwaite as he likes to be called, and Victorian Luke Gleeson, is Bowls Australia's GM of Participation and Programs Chris Wallace, and RBM Kyle Langley, who joined us yesterday. Guys, welcome.
Morning, Val. Good to be with you on this cracking day for bowls. Should be beautiful conditions for, and looking forward to seeing Bob and Luke take to the green shortly.
Yeah, good morning, Val. Good morning, Chris. Yeah, Groundhog Day again. We talked about the weather yesterday. 23 degrees again today, light breeze, no clouds in the sky. It's just a fantastic day out here.
Certainly is. A couple of motorbikes revving past us as we go by, just to wake us all up in case we weren't. But yeah, these two and again, the appeal of the Australian Open is the fact that you can come and play. It's $50 for a singles entry, but also the fact that you can be streamed. Anybody can be streamed. It doesn't matter. You could just have the luck of the draw, and these guys are going to be in a wonderful position today where they get to go home and tell their family that they're on a live stream game at the AO.
Absolutely, and for a guy like Luke, it's his first ever AO, so to play on a live stream game in his first match at the AO, it's going to be a great experience.
100% record, he should retire.
Yeah, exactly. I did mention to Robert, or Bob and Luke, I said, well, we'll get some information about you. We'll give a bit of a Google, and they said, don't Google us, and I did. Nothing. Don't even raise an issue. There's nothing on Google. There's no history, so there you go. We've got two people with not a lot of information that we're going to watch bowl and bowl today, and that's the highlight of entering Australian Open.
Certainly is, and I think it's such a wonderful thing to be able to say you played at Broadbeach as well and played a competitive match at the Broadbeach Bowls Club. It is a wonderful area. It's a wonderful precinct here, and the club is just brilliant. 4 massive greens, and just coming out here and being in amongst the buildings with the crowd around you, there is not much more of a better feeling. And Wally, you've played in a few of these before, and when are you doing so again?
Playing tomorrow, Val, down at Nerang, Mackenzie Park Nerang, so looking forward to that in the
Very
singles.
nice.
So I haven't drawn here for a round game yet at Broadbeach. I think events manager might have something against me.
Yeah, how have Andrew Howie and Paul Holschke not managed to get you on here at Broadbeach? That's criminal.
It is a bit, but no, I mean, lucky to play a later round or two. But now looking forward to going down Nerang both tomorrow and on Thursday for the fours, and then pairs down at beautiful Mermaid Beach. So, but as you know, Val, all the greens are in top condition, and
they are.
Yeah. Weather like this, well, if you're on the Gold Coast, come on down and watch some great bowls wherever you might be.
Certainly, and Australia's Gold Coast and major events, Gold Coast Tourism and Events Queensland, doing such a wonderful job helping us put this glorious festival of bowls together, because that's exactly what it is, a sensational fortnight. And we've got a few Australian Opens that we are so lucky to have that go for a fortnight, whether it's tennis, whether it's bowls. You are spoiled for choice, and this is as the hooter goes off, so the match is about to get underway. And looking forward to this contest and how it all eventuates.
And apart from Bob and Luke on the greens, we have Bron Torrens, who's marking today. She's also here playing herself, but first 2 days she's helping out as a marker. So all the way from Monto, which I believe is a 7-hour drive to get here. So her and her husband both volunteering here at the AO. So big thanks to Bron, who'll be indicating who's got shots throughout the game.
I did hear you talking to her before, Wally, and I think, was it a 7-hour drive?
A 7-hour drive, yeah, from Monto.
That's a fair hike.
So which way is Monto, gentlemen? Is it north, south, east, west?
West.
West,
I believe, yeah. So I'd be lying if I said exactly which direction, but yeah.
Well, we have had magic crowds here yesterday for the first day, also all of last week with the Broadbeach tournament on. I'm just worried we might lose a few spectators over to Mackenzie Park tomorrow, but Chris, with your singles match on, the crowd will follow.
There is zero chance of that, I think. Might be some decent players playing.
Oh, did we not tell you that we're going down to live stream your game?
Oh, don't say that, because people will
we're not.
We might have a roving reporter there, but you'll see.
That's Wally himself.
That's right. Yeah. Now back to the real action here, not what might happen tomorrow. But here we go. We've got Bob sending down his first bowl in response to Luke's. Luke's a fair starter. And, mate, a fellow Tigers fan, Val. He's even got the Tigers bowls.
And I do very much like that. Last night was a stressful night at watching Richmond. Umpires were not very kind to us, but got the job done. Season is alive.
Yep.
And I hate saying that because it's the hope that kills you.
Well, very early in the game here, but the Tigers are in front here too with...
I'll take it.
Well, the good part about our
shots.
sport is we don't have the umpire. There's no real controversy with the umpire. They can't step in and give a free kick for a 50-metre penalty.
Well, exactly.
So, yeah, it's bowler versus bowler here.
So, Luke is okay.
Exactly.
Now, Bob, fair correction off his first.
Yep.
Just going to slide through a touch, but...
I think we saw yesterday the first bowls were so important in every end, didn't we, Kyle? And especially in the second game that we did, just for players to just get themselves on the head early and just stop the momentum of the player that bowls last.
And that was the secret yesterday, was grabbing the mat, putting the jack where you wanted it basically, and popping one on it. But we probably will see the same conditions again today, where things will change throughout the day as it gets further into the day. The sun will come out, the green will quicken up, especially this rink here. We're in shadow, basically 3/4 of the green. So what will happen as the sun comes up? They'll start to turn more. I think there will be a narrow side down here, the ditch side as well. So they'll have to definitely... the conditions will change. They'll have to adapt to those.
There's a great correction there from Bob.
Yeah, it looks like he has drawn the shot.
Yep.
On's indicating.
So, blue paddles for Bob Thwaite, red for Luke Gleason.
And the keen observers at home might have noticed that we are playing a different direction today. We are going east-west, so...
Yeah, a bit different. We're bowling right alongside where we are yesterday, but no, this is good to see, just to get the just keep the green in order, use it all evenly.
And good for our eyesight. We're probably, 50 metres away from the head at the moment, so it's a bit of a look. But Val, yesterday, Chris, it was funny because yesterday we had red bowls with blue paddles and blue bowls with red paddles. It was a bit confusing by the end of the day, but we got it fixed up today.
Well, Bob's responded pretty well, Luke.
He
His
has.
first three were very handy. His last one just touch tight, but it's like Bob is close to drawing second, but might be just shy.
Just a bit short. So I believe this is going to be a 1.
There's a blue paddle in the hand. We'll see what happens. Well, there's a red paddle in the hand too. Look out.
That's a red paddle.
It's a red paddle. There you go.
So viewers and listeners, be kind to us today because we're in a precarious position to judge this. So we might just wait for the head to be called by the umpire each time. We'll give it a guess.
Yeah, we had a couple of really good ones yesterday where we were spot on, but maybe that was Hollywood, Kyle, because you're looking at me going, "Oh no, I wasn't."
No, it was Hollywood, definitely. If you're listening, Michael, you had a shocker. No, you were good yesterday. You called 2. That was 2 from a distance too. So.
Yeah, but there was one where I was just so completely far off that it wasn't funny.
And we do have the honour of having on Rink 23, which is next to our live stream rink, one Darren Morrison, another one of our regional bowls managers, and bowling guru, the man can bowl. He's playing there. Looks like he might have one shot already in his first end. But he's an exciting commodity.
Playing someone from Bondi, he might pick up on the live streams wearing some footy socks.
I did see that, yeah.
It's a decent look, isn't it? Now, white socks.
Long socks.
Or they could be Bondi bowling socks. We don't actually know at this stage.
We'll have to ask him.
We'll ask him.
Good to have everybody's company this morning. Philip Lubke, one of our regular listeners watching. Stephen Rowdy Arthur, morning boys.
Morning Rowdy.
Great to see John McKechnie, John and Val watching from Ontario, Canada. They're always tuning in, so great to have your company as well. Jared Gorsuch, hope you're well, Kyle.
G'day, Jared. Good to hear from you, mate. Zone 2, boy.
Got players or people from Scotland watching on. Great to see. Pretty early in the morning in Scotland. What would that be? About midnight? 9 hours behind, I think they are at this time of the year.
Yeah, Luke was just probably looking to put a bit more on, maybe arrive on his own. We'll take a little time to feel the pace out this morning, so especially with the greens will quicken up, no doubt, throughout the day. But looking across the green, you can see probably a few shorter bowls than we normally see. standard.
Yeah, we found that yesterday. The initial adjustment was difficult for the first 3 or 4 ends. Even though they've been rolled this morning, again, you must give credit to the greenkeepers here.
Yep.
And for all those watching, this particular green we're on here was rolled by one A Sheriff.
It was.
He was out there on the roller this morning.
He goes okay.
He goes all right, but we mentioned this yesterday, Chris. It's probably one of the only sports. Can you imagine Rafa Nadal out mowing Wimbledon before he goes on for his match? It just doesn't
Rafa
happen.
would be in Paris,
Yeah,
just
exactly.
bagging the clay, I think.
So one of the best
He's
bowlers
got
in the
time
world.
now.
One of the best bowlers in the world out there doing his chores before he comes out on the green. It's amazing, this sport.
It is.
Absolutely, very much game of the people.
Certainly is.
No matter who you are.
Perth Pennant stats, that's Dave Rankin, asking for a friend, any chance of rain. Now, I reckon that friend could be one C. Adams.
Probably.
I always worry when people say asking for a friend, but knowing someone like wanted to see rain, C. Adams would be definitely there, yes.
I was speaking to Clive last night. He passes on all of his best to all of the listeners.
We certainly wish him well and miss him around here. And just think like a biscuits on the table with no Clive here this morning.
I'll have to bring out the Scotch fingers later.
Now, Luke's just trailed that jack and given the shot definitely now to Bob, and Bob's got a chance here to draw a second.
He's a bit unlucky there, Luke. Decent bowl.
Bob doesn't look too happy. Maybe he's playing with the mask.
Yeah,
he walked away.
No, he's close.
Oh, wow.
That's a cracker.
Magnificent.
So if we see Bob turn around, pick the mat up and walk away, he's bowled it well.
And
moving the third.
Survey.
Well, Bron's got 2 paddles at the ready.
Yep, and
2 shots it is.
2. So a 2-1 lead to Bob Thwaite to commence proceedings here. 2 ends done. They're both on the board. It's always nice, especially for Luke, I think, playing his first AO.
Oh, you need a shot. You need to get a shot on the board, and the pressure just comes off straight away. You know you're on the scoreboard. There's not going to be a zip score. Gentlemen, we must mention it. Now, I hesitated, but we've got to say the Australian Open is such an individual event that anything can happen. Look what happened yesterday. Let's talk through it.
Yes.
Carl Healy out.
And Barry Lester out as well.
Yeah,
and
Sean Ingham.
Yep. So there were some big names. Corey Wedlock got through. Aaron Tees got through. So a couple of the World Championships, Jackaroos, they're all through. Sean Baker got through as well, former winner here in 2015. Ray Pearce as well. Cody Packer.
And the thing is, we're not seeded. We're just in a random draw.
Yeah.
You play who you get drawn against, and there is a couple of potential superstars out there that have knocked off Jackaroos.
Exactly right. And I think yesterday the example was Kobe Cromie, 15 years old, and comes up against Carl Healy, trails for the predominant portion of the match and gets the job done, which is quite outstanding considering Carl is about to be playing for his maiden World Championship title.
Played beautifully through the day too, didn't he, Kobe? Yeah, especially on the game that was live streamed. Incredible match. Such
a level-headed kid as well, which is so impressive for someone that's 15. And as a 15-year-old, you can be very temperamental, of course. You're still learning about life skills and things like that. And you continue to learn life skills, but at 15, you don't have as many.
Well, that was the impressive part about himself. And also, even though young Charlie Hicks didn't get through, just their demeanour, their attitude on the green was just brilliant. And I think that's a positive for junior bowlers coming through. We've got that level of not only ability but also attitude. Our future looks great.
Bob really finding his range now with his first bowls, so he's a
bit of a worry
early start
for Luke Gleason.
We're just like he's a Tigers fan, Luke, so it's might be a bit like last night, mate. Maybe just a slow start.
Yeah, it was a slow first 10 minutes, but kicked the next 5 goals after that, so it was nice. And Tim Taranto just continues to play his best.
Luke using the Henselite XGs, size 3s apparently, but do have the Tigers logo on there, Tigers colours.
I'd like to welcome everyone to the Bowls Australia football show. No, we're across everything here.
We certainly are, and Robert Stirrat asking what bowling club we're at. We're at the Broadbeach Bowls Club here on the Gold Coast. 4 grass greens here. The hub of the Australian Open. And, of course, you can get to the marquee that's set up in the car park at the front. You can get all your favourite bowls manufacturers. There's also some great merch that you can purchase. You've got Right at Home, Bowls Australia's great sponsors in there. Audica, they're doing free hearing tests. I need to go look that up myself. Sometimes I find myself a little bit hard of hearing.
And Chris, how important is this for Bob? He just found his range so well here. First 3 bowls this end. Brilliant.
Looking to arrive with weight here and has got the jack. What a cracker.
Takes one bowl. There it is.
Exactly. That's a great response.
3 down to 3 up here for Luke Gleeson.
Big test for Bob. Can he change his line and just basically either draw it or cut it back here? He needs to get close.
Looks like he'll stay with the forehand. So no doubt a bit of relief for Luke there. He's probably would have been feeling the pressure being 3 down early in the game.
Yep.
And
the possibility for him to even score a 3 here, although I think Bob might be in the zone.
He's not far away here.
He's certainly not far away.
That's a great effort.
Bowl. Wow.
Definitely on song
Close
early
for
in this
shot.
match.
Ron
Yeah,
is
great.
having a look at the head, and she's calling one for Bob.
That is a magnificent shot.
It's 4.
To take a bit of grass that hasn't really been taken at all.
Third end of the game, 4 very good bowls from Bob. His end.
So what can Luke Gleason conjure up here?
Found the response with his last bowl. Can he do it again?
Just on the backhand here, just trying to turn his over, I imagine.
Yeah, he just only needs a roll, doesn't he, Kyle?
Hands on hips. Will it get down? He's
Close.
not far off. He's not far off at all.
Through. Oh,
I think he's secured shot there, though. That's rolled out.
That was a great bowl. We'll see what happens here.
Bronwyn's going in for a look.
Bronwyn's sneaky. She's got blue and red in the same hand, so I can't really give you an early crow here.
No.
Oh, hang on. One's going back in the pocket. I think the red's gone back in the pocket.
Yeah, Bobby's jack high. Generally try to favour the jack high bowls, wouldn't you? But they're walking for a look.
It is Bob's.
1 to Bob.
All right.
Yep. So wow.
That was a great end of bowls,
Yeah.
though. Cat and mouse.
So after 3 ends, Bob leading 3-1.
And for Bob, he's played 4 magnificent bowls, 4 bombs, picks up 1. So hopefully he hasn't looked at it as a negative. But gee, they both played well on that end.
Amazing.
But then again, you can look at that at the way of Luke played a few really, really good ones, and Bob still won the end.
Exactly.
So I think that's the way you have to look at it.
I never look at it at 3 bad ones and 1 good one, and if I can get the other 3 on the rink, it's okay. So
I think I've figured out you tend to sell yourself very short, Kyle.
I'm 6 foot, but I do my best. Now, look, I'm only new at this game, and I've found that it's funny. Started playing the game when I won't say how old, a little bit over 40, but I wish I'd have started a lot younger. It's one of those games, Chris, isn't it?
I think we all do. Yeah, you often form the sport by accident, but I know many people that play the sport love it and just say, "We should be playing it earlier."
Well, so many kids. When I came through the ranks of football and baseball and golf. But I gave those away and came to bowls. I just hope these kids that are out there playing at 14, 15, 16, even 18, don't give it away and go to something else. They stay with our sport.
Yeah, bowls can often be people's second or third or fourth sport. And similar, Kyle, I remember playing soccer and cricket and golf, and then bowls was a fourth sport, but fell in love with it. And it just seems like the boys are just struggling a little bit coming back this way. It's few short bowls. It's fair to be said across the green. If we look around the other rinks too, there's quite a few bowls short of jack coming back to the clubhouse.
We saw that yesterday going in the north-south direction, going in the southern direction towards the soccer club here, that especially in that last game, there were some really short bowls being played.
Yeah, the gentleman Shane played in the last game there. He was struggling heading back to the Broadbeach United Soccer Club end, as we're calling it.
Nice correction there from Bob. Now, Wally, you've fallen in love with bowls so much that you're actually the president at Dandenong.
I am, yeah. So, president of the bowl section.
Yep.
So it's a great club to be at. Very fortunate, supportive board, and one of these undercover facilities these days. So we do have an outdoor grass green, but also an undercover carpet, which is in fantastic nick. And
It certainly is.
Yeah,
I remember heading down there back in 2021. It was, I think, one of the first events that I did. The 2020 Champion of Champions, the delayed one, and then the cancelled 2021 Oz Champs.
That's right, yeah. We got halfway through, didn't we? And then COVID happened, unfortunately, and people had to hot-footed at the airport.
Scurry away.
Lockdown.
No, it is a magnificent club, and one that is heavily involved with the national setup. Of course, the Bowls Premier League, the Melbourne Pulse, the back-to-back champions from last year. BPL 15 or 14 and 15, no, 15 and 16.
They love their bowls down at Dandenong and plenty of parts of Melbourne as well. But, there's about a dozen from Dandenong up here at the Australian Open this year. So quite a few clubs strongly represented. Talking to someone from Asquith this morning in northern Sydney, and they've got 20 members up here from Asquith. So not sure if any club can beat that. We might have to find that out through the week, which club might have the most reps up here at the AO.
I reckon Broadbeach would be up there.
Yeah, that's cheating, though, isn't it?
Yeah, you know what? We can get rid of Broadbeach and Helensvale because they're the two biggest ones from the home city.
That's it, yeah.
Well, the gentlemen from, or the bowlers, I should say, from Zone 2 and 6 and 15, they've started their own Facebook page to come to the Australian Open. So they've got a chat going of all the players up here getting together. It's a pilgrimage these days.
It is.
Every year.
Yep.
And I think the wonderful narratives that you see, and I think we look back to that women's pairs final last year, Olivia Bloomfield and Paris Baker funded themselves to get here. And asked for they got donations, held sportsmen's nights and things like that across Niue and New Zealand, and people really got around them and helped fund the trip here. And look at what they were able to do.
Absolutely amazing.
And Olivia Bloomfield, one of the characters of bowls.
An early test again here for Luke. So similar to the last end. Looks like he's a couple down.
Yeah, I think he's definitely a couple down here, Chris. It's he needs to cut down the damage, definitely. He's got a bit of weight on this too.
Yeah, probably needs to find his own, doesn't he? And
there we
go.
So that might be a beneficial result, but we can kind of have a little bit of an angle of it here. Not sure who I'm favouring.
I'll go one blue here from this dodgy angle.
One to Bob.
Could be. Bronwyn seems to have made up her mind.
I think I tend to agree with you, Kyle.
Yeah, there's always a first, Val.
No, I agreed with you heaps yesterday. Thank you very much.
Yep, no, yep. Kick the jack away, so.
Yep.
It is. One to Bob.
Oh, okay. I will not say another comment after I'm correct there. That'll be the end of me. Thank you very much.
But no, brilliant festival of bowls and people from all around the country, not just around Australia, but from overseas as well. So it's great to see people from Hong Kong, New Zealand, the UK.
India.
There's
one from America as well.
We had an Indian section winner yesterday, didn't we?
Yes, and an American section winner yesterday too. So
phenomenal. It really is, I said, a massive festival of bowls, and great to see the numbers over 3,700 this year. Plenty of people from the southern states enjoying the warmer weather.
Yep.
It's these beautiful blue skies.
It's magnificent. I think harping back on that India point, I saw what happened after they won gold in the women's fours at the Commonwealth Games last year, having been there. The media managers and the in-staff Commonwealth Games writers were so overwhelmed by the swarm of journalists and cameramen that attended that press conference and the media pen that when it got to the South Africa-India men's force final, they were going for South Africa to make sure that they didn't have to be overwhelmed like that again.
I bet.
That many people showed up. It was unbelievable. Yeah. So if India can start to have a little bit of success in bowls, who knows how many people will pick up the sport over there.
Well, if you look at the situation with cricket in India and the IPL, it's exploded. They'll have 100,000 people to an IPL game. Imagine if bowls took off in India, how exciting, how many people, how many participants they'd end up with. And question without notice, Chris, I'm good at these.
That's okay.
Participation, Bowls Australia. How are we looking? How are we heading? I'm an RBM out in the road, but we're making ground and getting people, they say, back into the game because we have a little drop-off, but we're getting new people all the time into our game, into our sport.
Absolutely, yeah. Participation's strong, so especially from casual participation. You know, I said we were always going to see a little bit of decline in the more traditional forms of the game, pennant and the longer forms, but through Jack Attack and all the shorter forms, BPL Cup just continues to grow each year, much like the Australian Open. You know, it's only a 2-week commitment for people, but yeah, you know, for all the 4 and 6 and 8 week comps, plenty of clubs doing real good business in terms of growing the short form of the game and getting people into the sport, which is great to see.
And how important is the Bowls Premier League for that?
It is really important. Just such a great marketing tool to show bowls to non-bowlers. Often it's many people's first experience of bowls these days, watching the Bowls Premier League. So great product, you know, and shows off a great game. Oh, speaking of great stuff, that's an excellent bowl from Luke there, because Bob has really found his range heading towards the beach. So,
and we definitely need to showcase our game through the BPL. But my advice always to clubs, if even you've got 20 barefoot bowlers out on the green, don't look down your nose at them. Go out there and communicate and have a conversation with them. They're the new members. They're the new people that will be putting on the club colours and playing pennants in 3 and 4 years' time.
Absolutely, and I think we all forget sometimes how we start the game ourselves and what commitments we may have had before we took up bowls. And I think if you know, my advice to anyone in clubland out there is just remember, he said, people do live busy lives and may have other sporting commitments and family commitments, but the more we can do to introduce people to the game, whether it be through barefoot bowls, whether it be through a 1-bowl shootout on a Friday night at the club, anything you can do to introduce people to the game is a great place to start.
100%.
And we always have to remind everyone that if you are from a club and you want to help your club grow, go to the Bowls Australia website, look under Health Clubs, basically. You look under your RBM for your area. Our phone number's there. Give us a call. We'll come out to your club and we'll have a chat and we'll give you ideas and help you create those members that you're after.
Or just ring Kyle anyway.
That's it.
Or you can ring Val on 04... No, I did that yesterday, didn't I? Back to the bowls.
Did you?
Yeah, I didn't say the full number, but that's all right.
Oh.
So Luke trying to find a way through bowls there, but it's going to slide around.
Yeah, this is a really important end for Luke, considering he's dropped the last 3. And if he can get himself back on the scoreboard, just tighten things up a little bit more. The good thing is for him, he's only conceded 1s in his last 2 ends here.
Bob gone down for a look to see what sort of shot he can play.
Yeah.
Bob's had some recent success. So Bob hails from Cleveland, which is just south of Brisbane, up the road. Apparently he was the Gateway District runner-up in the singles recently.
Wow.
So he's in some good singles form and has started well, but with Luke holding here, we'll see if...
What are you thinking here, Chris? Just play the backhand, just try and a little bit of a cannon on to...
I think so, yeah.
Bowl there and run it back to himself.
Any sort of connection. Looks like he's going to go forehand, though.
Back to forehand.
Yeah, but any sort of connection, I suppose, should deliver the result. As it doesn't go too hard.
Well, the bowl is standing up, so if he gets connection, it'll roll out.
Yeah, no, he doesn't like it from the get-go.
He didn't like one before and ended up very close, but that one is going to drift wide. Yeah. So Luke Gleeson with an opportunity here to get one in for a second. It's not an easy bowl.
Has to be very careful here as well.
Yeah.
Does he take a safe line?
Yeah, he's got to go forehand again, and he almost drew one going around that wide bowl, so we'll see if he adjusts and tries to go under. He's taking a similar line, playing a bit safe, but that's probably a wise thing to do given that bowl was on the line.
Giving it a chance. I think we might be just the one again.
Yeah, looks like 1 to Luke. No, 2. 2, there you go. He had drawn it with his second last bowl. So
2 to the Richmond Tigers bowls. That doesn't happen that often, getting points on the board when you're a Richmond Tigers fan.
It's always good.
Tigers on their way back. So, Luke from Broadford. So, small club just north of Melbourne, south of Seymour. copped some rain earlier in the year. So
Certainly did, yeah.
Yeah, they got hammered. Apparently, Luke was saying he was landlocked for a few days there.
It was pretty horrible what was happening in the northern part of Victoria, right on the border in New South Wales. It was quite awful.
We certainly feel for any of our listeners that suffered through those times.
Certainly do. Just a quick one, Davo Newman. Please turn the volume up a little. Now that is on your end, I think. So we've just tested this quickly, and everything is fine. So if you go to the little volume tab in the bottom corner or top corner of your whatever device you're watching on, just make sure that's up full, and then also make sure your device is up as well.
And if that doesn't work, we're having Audica are doing free hearing tests down here at the moment at Broadbeach, aren't they, Val?
They certainly are.
Nice plug, Kyle.
I wasn't picking on our listener. I was just plugging Audica there, by the way.
They are a great partner here of Bowls Australia.
Yeah, so Luke has chosen to go longer this end and just didn't quite find his line, but Bob has. And, playing some very nice first bowls at the moment, Bob, which is, as you said, Val, before, key, isn't it?
Yep.
Playing well in singles.
Exactly. Just hopping on that jack early. And sometimes the good thing is when you've lost a few ends in a row, like Luke has, he lost three consecutive, to get that length back and be able to choose it. But unfortunately, he's really not made the most of it with these first two. So the penultimate two bowls of this end, or the final two bowls of this end, are going to be very important for him because Bob is looking good.
Certainly know how annoying it is too, because it happens to me all the time when you change the length and you think I'll play a preferred length and then you don't quite find it.
And your opposition does.
And your opposition does. You think, oh, wow, that didn't work. I might try something different next time I get the mat.
Unfortunately, when we play Thursday Survivor at the office, Wally, there is no preferred length.
No, that's it. That's a bit rough and slow at the moment.
Yeah,
it's,
at Darabin.
Yep.
We should have the World Championships there. That'd be the great leveler.
Oh, that's it, yeah.
Maybe Lachlan Williams, who's controlling our vision here. He is the superstar.
Yeah, master of those conditions.
Yep. Slow green bully, we call him.
Yep. For those that might not have seen Darabin of late, runs a genuine 4 seconds. About 2 seconds each way.
I'm thinking we go back to the velodrome inside. That'd be handy.
That's it.
That thing turns at right angles and then goes backwards.
Now, Val, this was what happened yesterday. Even though we're still in the shade, you notice the first couple of bowls have crossed the head. The line will now have to change. It just seems to happen about half an hour in. They need to take a wider line, otherwise they'll lose it every time. And
this is exactly what you've said, Kyle.
Yeah, and going a bit longer too, and the green quickening a touch.
And we talked about yesterday that eye perception with the kitty sitting, or the jack sitting in the sun and bowling through the shade. It can change your mental thought on what you need, what sort of weight you need to use.
Certainly can. And of course, the Australian Open proudly brought to you by Apia. Apia is helping you live the good life and play bowls.
So yeah, Luke almost reaching there. Found the line again, but probably. You're looking at this end, he's dropped off his 4 bowls short of jack. Dare say be cognizant of that next end he plays, but might choose to go a bit shorter, I think, next time he gets a mat.
Big bowl here for Bob. If he can trail this, he can pick up 3 here. But as you said, must be horrible feeling going through Luke's mind at the moment. He's just thrown the kitty and it couldn't get there. He's come up short every time, and that's a worry on this end.
So he's gone a bit wider here, Bob, but I'm not sure it's going to have the legs.
No, it seems not. So, yeah, maybe worried about those bowls coming in, but
I believe this will be a 1, maybe.
He's keen to get down there and tell everyone what it was, so I think it's definitely 1.
Yep, they're kicking him away, so
yeah.
that'll be 1.
Val, I have to get my B up sign out that I had to bring out yesterday for Shane in our last game because he left a few short.
Yep. Have you actually, where is it?
No, I left it in the car. I didn't
Did you get it signed by Sydney J. Bean or?
We will be starting the Sydney J. Bean fan
2.
club.
It was 2.
Oh, it was 2.
It was 2, yeah, bronze. So score 6-3.
Nick Twining commenting here. Kyle Langley, what a voice. It is quite spectacular.
So there's Nick Audica. Come on down. Nick Twining, of course, was up until Friday one of our RBMs for Far North Queensland. He's taken the role of, I think it's allowed to be told, the CEO of Edge Hill Bowling Club.
Great club up in Cairns.
Very nice.
And Nick will do some great work in that space. And one of his passions is bowls and participation. And you watch the numbers at Edge Hill fly through the roof because he'll do some great work there.
Yeah, certainly fantastic. He's staying in the sport too. Did a great job servicing clubs up in North Queensland, and will do a wonderful job. Running Edge Hill at Cairns. I know he's been involved on the board there previously. So, yeah.
It was his birthday yesterday too.
Was it?
Yeah,
Happy birthday, Nick.
Happy birthday, Nick. Yeah.
Kyle will sing you a song.
63 yesterday. He doesn't look 63, but he really is. Old fella. Good bloke, Nick. I think he was 30 something.
That'll do.
Yeah, 30 something, never been kissed. So he's a good bloke.
Can play bowls too.
He'll tell you that for sure.
So what's
Another good bowl from Bob.
got here? Didn't want to skew the jack off and didn't.
End up in a good home. Really finding his range. I said heading towards the beach. That's for sure, Bob.
Yeah, Bob's found his length. This is the same length he threw before he put 3 on it. Then Luke was able to move the jack, but hopefully Luke might be able to do the same thing here.
Yeah, so a bit of the XG turn. Will he get under that front bowl? Not quite. Got close there. Probably had the line if Bob's bowl wasn't there to find Jack.
It's the old Dalrymple blocker, maybe.
Yeah.
He's probably made it better for himself for his next bowl because he's got the option there of backhand sitting or forehand coming off, getting a slide off the other one. So it's probably better now for him.
Yeah, you'd think he'd have to change hands when he was next, but no doubt Bob looking to take that shot away from him. Going backhand as well.
Such a pristine morning again here on the Gold Coast. And Bob Thwaite is bowling pretty well, but that one just drifting short. I feel like Bob has been in a much more commanding position than what the scoreboard suggests. Only 6-3 ahead. Feel like he could be breaking it open any time soon, but Luke keeps finding those bowls just obstruct the score a little bit. This one's looking very wide.
Yeah, not sure if that will get back. Probably hasn't tested himself much on that side of the green yet. So
great to have everyone's company from wherever you're watching around the world here on a Sunday morning or Saturday night.
But yeah, right, Val. There hasn't been that breakout moment for either player yet. You know, all small scores, all 1s and 2s so far. So
this one's on a tighter line, but the weight, I think, is probably a little bit too quick.
yeah, and Bob's bowl's quite tight compared to Luke's XG. So Bob using dynamics, aerodynamics, size 4s for those interested. But heavier bowl, the larger the bowl is, the bowlers will tend to run on a little bit more as well. Maybe also not quite turn as much. Smaller the bowl, the quicker they'll pull up and the more they'll turn.
Here we go. Luke Gleason. Now he's on a tighter line. Will it get back?
Looks like he's in the area. Good
Will
bowl
it get
here.
back?
What a cracker.
Great effort.
That is magnificent
Great bowl.
from Luke Gleason, and he'll take a 1 there.
There's been a couple of ends now where Bob's held 2, 3, and Luke's just done that. And that could play on the mind of Bob down the track. He's working so hard to get those first couple in there and holding 2 and 3 shots. And Luke's just coming through and just taking that away right at the end.
Yeah. Now we'll see if Luke goes longer here again. Or
The Matt is in a similar position,
It
but
is,
We spoke about this. I think shorten it up could be the key here.
yeah, got to be playing on his mind.
let's see where he puts this.
Certainly more deliberate with his jack delivery this time. So he's taking a bit of time.
I'd be keeping it out of the sun.
Okay, this is it's a
It's
shorter, I think.
It's gone a bit shorter than coming this way last time. So
Jamie Yarvanen high. My first AO this year. What an incredible experience it was. Can't wait to do it again next year.
good on you, Jamie.
Great that you enjoyed it. Keep the comments coming on Facebook. We love engaging with you all. Some of our regulars and some of our new listeners here at Rinkside Live, presented by Apia, who also proudly support the volunteers and officials at the 2023 Australian Open.
And Luke's done exactly what he didn't want to do. He's left it short again. That's the unfortunate start you don't want.
Kyle B. up Langley, teaching us the keys of bowls.
Yeah, that first bowl could be so important, especially when you've he's finished off the last end so well, getting an important shot,
and Bob
choosing a length he wants.
Has he come around?
Oh, Bob's giving me a little chance here, also dropping a bit short. Again, still happening, but bowls coming this way back to the club still seem to be a bit shorter than longer at the moment.
As the sun is starting to creep onto the green from behind the apartment buildings that are just adjacent to the Broadbeach Bowls Club.
Let's see if Luke can adjust here.
Now, I'm not sure this one's going to be short. Maybe it is.
And slightly better weight. It's got the shot, but there's still room there for either. Yeah, Bob's club at Cleveland, beautiful club. It used to hold the Queensland Open back in the day, so held it once. So even the Australian Open, I think. When we go back to the early days of the Australian Open.
There's been a few clubs that have held the AO. Yarraville Footscray, one of those, back in Melbourne on Francis Street.
Yeah. Shepparton and Maribna.
Yep.
For a period there. It's great to be up here on the Gold Coast, though.
It gets us out of winter, and it's fantastic.
With weather like this,
get a winter tan or a winter burn.
Okay, so Luke changing hands here, and just not quite getting the line he wants. He's got the weight.
Weight was perfect.
But, 3 bowls down this end and a bit tight with each so far. So
still got the shot, though.
Yeah.
It's the most important thing. He needs to. He hasn't won consecutive ends in this contest at all.
Mm.
From this angle, it looks like he's actually holding 2. Deceiving on the camera.
Yeah.
Could be, but Bob still has 2 shots at this to try and rectify the situation. And that one
might just sneak in.
He's going to, yes. Resting right on. So this has been the Bob Thwaite end, and generally bowling towards the beach has been the Luke Gleeson end.
Yeah, Luke, perfect weight on his last. Corrects his line. Should be able to get the shot. Just been lacking a bit of grass this end so far, so let's see how we go.
He's gone on the backhand. How's his line?
Yeah.
He's gone with a little bit more weight.
Needs to hold. It's going to go tight
He's
again.
not far. Can he take the jack at all? He can, but
sliced it a little.
So now an opportunity for a second here.
Bob can play something fairly similar and do it fairly safely as well. He's got his own bowl on the way in. He repeats his last bowl. He'll get another shot.
Good speed on this. Needs to get past.
Oh, hit that hard. No, just no danger there, but safely say Kyle won to Bob, do you think, this time?
Definitely won. I think just waiting for Luke to give him the nod. Yeah, definitely
there
won.
it is.
So here's what Bob will probably go back to his 3/4 length, throw it as close to the tee as he can. This is his end. He loves this way.
So does Luke, though. This is where Luke has won the...
And this could be a mistake from Bob, because that looks like it's going to end up in the surf.
Staying. No, dropped in.
There it goes. Yeah.
Australian Open.
Good read there, Kyle. But
certainly. The Australian Open supported proudly by Major Events Gold Coast and the Queensland Government through Tourism and Events Queensland. Do a great job helping us put this on. 14 clubs across the Gold Coast. From Beenleigh all the way down to Coolangatta. It is magnificent.
yeah, so Luke getting to choose his length again now, and again it's gone a bit shorter than the similar length to the last end. So Bob always seeming to finding his range going this way, but the only ends Luke has won is playing in this direction.
Yep. So the 8 ends that we've played so far, 5 of those have been singles.
Yeah, tight game, isn't it? 11 shots, 8 ends.
Very close. Paul Brotherson watching from WA. Good to have your company very early in the morning on a Sunday. No sleep-ins when the Australian Open's on, that's for sure.
What are we looking at? 2 hours difference at the moment? So it'll be 7:42?
Yep.
Yeah, so interesting to watch the heads from end to end. So generally the guys seem to be going a bit heavy, heading towards the beach, and a bit shy of the jack coming back to the club. Bob here with a chance to correct.
And I said before, the eyes do funny things. So is it? It could be because the jack is finishing in the sun, going back this way, and their brain thinks it's a lot shorter than it is, but it's 2 metres short every time at the moment.
Mm.
Now, gentlemen, Colin Bray was playing here yesterday. Unfortunately, he copped a horror section, including Sydney JB and Carl Healy, Kobe Cromie. But he's our resident jacks in the ditch counter during the Australian Open. We didn't have any on the stream yesterday, lucky for him, because otherwise he would have been fired for missing them. But he's back, he's watching. Lost jacks, ... 1.
1, there we go.
Well played, Colin. Well played.
Felt very bad for Colin Bray yesterday. Unfortunately, looking at his draw, it was definitely not easy, but he played well.
He turned up. He really did. Every time he was there, and he gave 110% every bowl. And that's what the game's all about.
It is. Bob closed his third here. Oh, look, a front hopper. Great bowl. Haven't seen a lot of chalk this game yet, but Bron in there to mark that one. And a lot of bowls close and thereabouts, and looking around the other rinks too, some great bowls going down.
Yep. Some real characters around here. We've got someone commenting here, loving the knee-high socks on the rink next door.
Yeah, yes, a man from Bondi. So I'll have to look up his name. But, yeah, playing Aaron Morrison. The game's
Kirby Smith.
Kirby Smith, there you go.
There's a marketing opportunity there. BA logo on them with the BA football socks. We'll have to talk about that one later.
Yeah. What colours would yours be, Kyle? Got to choose your socks.
You'd have to go
red and white for St George Illawarra.
Red and white for St George, but it depends on which club will have me this year. So they could be green and gold. You never know.
Get Gary Willis on that for you.
I don't mean Jackaroo green and gold. I mean, yeah.
That day sits green and gold, is it? That day sits.
Exactly. It's a long way to go, but you never know.
Yeah.
Lee Schreiner raising an interesting point. There's always much less driving in singles with the respot.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
It is a fair point. You don't see it as much, but if you control the tee, then certainly people will have a crack at it.
Mm.
This end has sort of quickly escaped Luke Gleeson. This could very well be a 3 here for Robert Thwaite.
Close for third, maybe that Jack High bowl just behind Jack High might be third shot. No, Bob indicating 2.
Let's see what Bron holds up. Just to make sure. And confirmation of 2 to Robert Thwaite.
2 it is. Must go back to the Lee Schreiner fan club. We mentioned yesterday, first time ever a player in New South Wales has won both the singles and pairs in Champion of Champions. He won the pairs with Matty Bouse, and he won the singles by himself, of course. But both players from Raymond Terrace, but the first time ever. Created history last week.
Now, Jeff Turnbull has commented here. I wasn't going to bring this up, but correction required, please. Lee Schreiner is not the only person to do it. Apparently, Rex Johnston did it in 1990.
Well, I will stand corrected. I got my information from one Andrew Lynn.
But that could be be wrong. This is just what I'm reading here.
No.
Lee, can you please confirm this for us?
We might have to go to Google later, but
Google.
either way, look, remarkable effort. Look, Rex Johnson,
Certainly.
another legend of the game, but Lee Schreiner.
Lee confirming Rex did do it in 1990. So, elite company, what a group that is.
Yeah.
Lee Schreiner, Rex Johnston.
Well, I was listening to, I think it was David Thomas and Andrew Lynn. They made those comments, Lee, but no, congratulations. You're a brilliant player and brilliant person. Well done, mate.
The only bowler, male or female, to win the Australian Champion of Champions on 3 occasions.
It was a big effort this year too, wasn't it, Kyle? Longer format, so the Champion of Champions, singles and pairs. So
it was
took quite a lot of games to win through, didn't it?
Entry from every club, yeah. So it was a lot of people didn't like the format style, but I thought it was exciting because it gave every club champion an opportunity to enter rather than going through your zone. To beat a field that was assembled, and Jake Lawton in the final held his head up. But I could see the emotion on Lee's face as he won it. It was it took a lot out of him for the 2 weeks that he was there and the bowls that were played. But well done again, mate.
By saying longer format too, longer format for the men, but it is a format that the women have played in New South Wales for a number of years. So that's but now unified in New South Wales. So they do trying to have some consistency with their formats across the board now.
Yeah, that's the thing. We look at our new CEO down there, Tim Rowe, doing a fantastic job with the board and the president, Dillis Kinleyside. It's a matter of unification is taking some ideas from the ladies and some ideas from the men and combining them, and it seems to be working so far. A little bit of opposition, but I think time will tell.
2 great bowls here from Luke at the start of this end.
Yeah, Luke's got his eye in now. He's and again that shadow's now decreasing, so they'll get a little bit more of a better perception on where the jack is actually sitting in length wise.
With less shade to the bowls, might be just running on a little bit more coming this way now.
Certainly.
When we started, that's rink very heavily in shade. Oh, what a response from Bob.
Well played.
That is magnificent. Down to finally Luke gets something towards this end. And Bob Thwaite says, anything you can do, I can do better.
We need a touch count as well, don't we? Is that two touches so far this game? We've got a lost Jack's count of 1. And
touches I haven't been counting. There's been a few.
There's
been a few. You can be our resident toucher counter. Wally?
Yeah, I might have to get on that job.
Yep.
So I know Bob's had 2 so far. I'm not sure about Luke yet, but he's been thereabouts.
Luke on the forehand here. He's just going to try and roll his bowl over. A little bit too much weight there, or the line was out.
Yeah, certainly nothing wrong with the weight when you've got the bowls like that in the head. So he could rumble through either of his own and get a result there.
If you have just joined us, session 1 of day 2 of the 2023 Australian Open. Val Febo, Chris Wallace and Kyle Langley joining you on Rinkside Live, presented by Apia, helping you live the good life and play bowls. Men's singles action. No next best qualifiers, guys. That's it. If you don't win your group or section, you are out. So, Wally, pressure is on.
Yeah, I'm not feeling it though, mate. No, it's just I think I'm just making up the numbers tomorrow.
I don't think so.
But
I want a golden run from you.
Yeah.
The narrative of champions. I need some content for the website.
We'll see. I'm definitely here not to let down my pairs and fours partners, so on Tuesday and Thursday. But for the moment, we've got action from section 114 today.
Yep.
So this is Bob v Luke. The other two players in this section are Alex Baker from East Lismore and Andre van der Venter from Mount Gravatt in Queensland. So, representatives from 3 states in this section. 2 Queenslanders, a Victorian, and someone from New South Wales.
Now, gentlemen, I haven't got any updates around the greens, but it's 9:51, 50 minutes into our opening session. I've just seen Omar come around the corner with his bowls bag, so he's done. We could possibly assume that's a win, but 51 minutes in, his first round is done and dusted.
And in this match, Bob. So 2 great bowls from Luke, but Bob hits double figures. So still a tight game. 14 shots and 10 ends.
I just get a feeling there's going to be a breakout end here. There's going to be a 3 or a 4 come into it somewhere, and that could really change the momentum of this match because Luke needs to get back into it with a big score, and if Bob picks those 3 or 4 up, it could be the nail.
So had John Roberts bringing us some waters here, looking after us. This is why he was named the Victorian Official of the Year.
Yep, and Chief Water Boy.
Yep. Superstar. Some interesting sections around here today. In section 110 at Broadbeach, Clive Williams, one of the finalists from an event here last year. I think it was played Damien Delgado and Cooper White styles from memory. Then Jake Rinn and Scott de Jong.
That's a fair section.
Yeah. Scott de Jong, of course, the fill-in coach of the Melbourne Pulse. It's BPL 15, their elusive first title. And his brother Blocker.
Yeah, is Blocker Steve playing today?
I'm not sure, actually, but he won the Right at Home challenge on the final night that night and gave us a pretty iconic celebration.
Yeah, they both had a crack at the Mega Bowl the other night too, both Blocker and Scotty. So, which we'll do again on the Saturday night after selling out on Friday night.
Yes, so the Mega Bowl. What time do you have to get your entries in by, Wally? About 5:30 or whenever it fills out?
5:30, absolute latest, yeah.
Yep.
We sold out about 20 minutes before. We kicked off at 6 o'clock on Friday night. So, first time we sold out that early. So, interest is growing in that event too. And, great to see some awesome bowls going down right throughout. But, with Tony and Kate, absolutely outstanding final. I know you guys touched on it yesterday, but the footage is there on the Bowls Australia Facebook page. But,
and who was that cameraman?
Someone short and geeky that had to push through the crowd to get it, I think.
It's one C. Wallace.
And we're not going to go to the person collecting the money because I was over budget. Chris understood that. 128 entries and I collected 129 entry fees. I don't know how that worked out, but anyway.
Someone was generous and, Kate didn't mind
the extra $10.
The record prize money of $1,290.
Well, that'll never be beaten.
It was coins. It was coins and included 50-cent pieces, so you didn't deserve it back anyway, whoever gave it to me. Notes only, please, people.
Now,
if you can bring a $10 note, we'd love that.
Yep.
Yeah, it's hard to make it rain with coins.
Yeah. To leave a dent on the green. Now, Paul Holschke, our events coordinator here and former RBM, you've heard him on the live stream before many times, and he ran it and was on the microphone and has since called it Paul's Mega Bowl since Clive Adams never got a full entry list. So Paul is taking that one up on Clive. So if you are listening, Mr. C. Adams.
And we will be printing T-shirts later with Paul's Mega Bowls on them. They'll be on sale in the foyer.
Don't know if we'll get that far.
No. But certainly the event, great success on Friday night and couldn't have happened without a lot of Clive's prep work for previous Mega Bowls, including a fantastic spreadsheet that keeps everything ticking along well. And 128 bowlers, we narrowed it down to 1 just within an hour. Amazing scenes as 100 people were cheering on those last couple of bowls coming down.
Now, what has Luke done? Has that affected the count at all?
I don't think so. Are we seeing this breakout moment we were referring to? So with Bob holding
2 or 3?
2 or 3, yeah.
If you can get another one in here for a fourth, the pressure will be well and truly on Luke Gleeson.
The angle is slightly deceiving from here. I'm thinking it may only be 2, but I don't have that measure in my hand.
Yeah. Luke does have the advantage of last bowl. No doubt Bob will try to be making it as difficult as possible by trying to cover up the jack. That hand, these dynamics, I'm not sure if it'll get back.
It's going to
just the weight
sneak around.
Yeah, that's right for the line.
Good spot, though. If he plays with any weight here, he's got the back covered.
Yeah, Murray Jensen just asking how the mega bowl works. After this bowl, we'll explain it to you, Murray. See what Luke Gleeson can do.
Very important bowl here in the stage of the match. So playing forehand, looking for a way either through or under his, I would imagine.
Ditch weight.
Yeah, it's just running a touch, so... Yeah.
So this is interesting here, and we'll see what the score is. A 2 best case scenario for Luke Gleeson.
Yeah, that gap is opening up a bit. We can say for certain that now Bob's won the last... Well, he's won 5 out of the last 6 ends. So he's just got a bit of a roll on here at the moment.
2 kicked out. They're going to have a look. Finger measure.
All right, looks like just 2 it is.
I think so. Bron, wait for her confirmation. And 2.
2 paddles, so still no score more than 2 in the game. But yeah, Bob's certainly putting a few ends back to back now.
Yep, 4 in a row. 1-2, 1-2. Margin was only 2. 4 ends ago, it was 6-4, and now Bob Thwaite really putting the screws in. Now, Murray, the Mega Bowl. $10 entry, 128 competitors in the field, maximum, and you get 1 bowl. Closer to the jack against your opponent, you continue through. If you continue through and keep winning and win overall, you get all the money. Every single dollar that has been put in, that's yours.
And as Kate did the other night, it just took 7 bowls to win $1,290. So, yeah, look, it's an event you can play at any club. It doesn't have to be just a domain of the Australian Open, but you can organise your own mega bowl at your own club. So a 1 bowl singles event. Some people do it a mixed pairs or a pairs, but yeah, you can have fun with formats. I know plenty of clubs are playing different formats all the time, but it's a great way to have a bit of fun on a Friday night or a weekend, and these fun formats you can play quickly and get over, and yeah, create a bit of excitement around your club. But
about $182.86 per bowl.
Yeah, wow.
So
that's pretty fair.
It's not bad.
Yeah, that's it.
I'd take that.
Yeah. Good hourly rate too. How's
Yeah,
work, wasn't it? $1,290 an hour, tax free.
Jeez.
Well, Bob Thwaite started off in mega bowl form there. Exactly what you need to do. Put one near the jack.
Yep. Unfortunately for the runner-up, he did put one near the jack, and Kate Carriage trails it away.
Yeah, it's almost shades of that end just coming in there now. It's Luke just short with his, but yeah, Kate was facing a similar head the other night, wasn't she, Val?
Yep.
Yeah.
How fast would his heart have been after he put one, 4 or 5, 6 inches from the jack?
Yeah.
He would have been going, I'm counting my money.
Yeah, Tony, he was a bit stiff the other night. Tony was a very, very good bowl, and would have thought he had that in the bag. But yeah, Kate wasn't to be denied, and yeah, amazing final. Which, it can be watched back on our Facebook page.
Can be. Now,
a couple of good bowls coming in here too, aren't there?
Yep, certainly. Now, Jason asking where you can see a draw for today or schedule. So Bowls Australia Facebook page, we posted the live stream schedule last night. You can also go to australianopen.bowls.com.au to check out the sections, and then also results.bowlslink.com.au to check out what results have happened. Click on the Australian Open tab, and or your Bowls Now app as well. I'm not sure how I forgot that one, but you can download that for free via the Google Play Store or App Store. It's all free. Stay up to date with everything happening in bowls across the country.
Yeah, all those results, news, and of course the links to live streaming as well. Not just Bowls Australia events, but state events as well from time to time. We've just hit the 1 hour mark of this game, so just a reminder, we are playing 21 up today in the singles, or a time limit of 2 hours and 15 minutes.
Yep.
So we did have a few games timed out yesterday, didn't we?
Yeah, there was, I think, one right at the end of the day, Frank Garden from Brunswick in Victoria. He was very close, but I think he got through in the end yesterday, second year in a row for him.
Yep.
He's made it into the knockout stage.
And there was a game yesterday here. I think they were 19 all, and JR came out and said to them somewhere. They said, "Oh, it's last end, gentlemen." But at 19 all, it's that's not a bad game. So you're pretty happy to play one more end and get over and done with.
Yep, one end shootout.
Yeah, did notice one game too was 16-14. So Jerry Harkins, old mate of mine from Windsor and the Defence Force Bowls team. So he won through his section, but notice his last game was 16-14 when it got timed out.
So Bob there ricocheting or rocketing one of his bowls up into the count, I think, or maybe just not, but
deceiving angle. Looks
it
like two from here, but as I
then
said, we're
looking at the screen, it looks like only probably one.
Marka Bron-Torrens from Monto.
Yep.
So she's gone in and indicated one shot.
APF proudly supporting all of the event volunteers and officials who do such a wonderful job, and we can't understate how good they are and what a wonderful asset of this tournament they are, guys.
No, it's amazing. It's a big thank you to everyone that's volunteered, whether you be a marker, measurer, scorer, anyone that's involved as an ITO, or just around the clubs helping to run these events. So well done to each and every one of you. To someone like Bron and her husband, who are both volunteering today and playing through the event. Made the 7-hour drive from Monto to be down here and giving with every spare hour they have. So thank you to everyone that's involved in volunteering, because these events can't happen without the support of great volunteers.
Certainly. Philip Lupke, Bowls Now app is the best app on his phone. We love hearing that.
what are we going to go here, Bron? I think she's the paddles are coming out.
Yep.
Yeah, it's definitely
one. The one, I think the last bowl of Bob just rolled through. It might be a measure.
Yeah, moving the first, and then the fingers come out again, do you think? Or no, going to get scientific with the tape this time. There we go.
Still waiting for that big breakout end, and I thought that might have been it there. But look, Bob is bowling extremely well. Like, he's had shot, plus he might have second, but he got 3 seconds there basically after that, or 3/3.
Yeah, he's been so ultra consistent, which is exactly what you need to be in singles. Your 4 bowls need to be in the best spots imaginable, and that's what he's done throughout the majority of this contest.
Yeah, and Luke remaining in the game, so he's been there or thereabouts. It was 2.
There, yeah. Now, Chris, you said the magic word a minute ago was volunteers, and the importance of volunteers in just your local club is amazing. And I would suggest to anyone out there who's a member of a bowling club, if you're not on the committee, you haven't got position on the committee, go to your committee and say, how can I help? What can I do as a volunteer to help? Can I come and set up the mats of a Saturday for the gala? Can I help with pennants? Can I go and pick up, I don't know how you do it, you might have sausage sizzles. Can I just get into your club and be a volunteer? Because that's the way clubs will survive and go forward in the future.
That's right. No, spot on, Kyle. Clubs can grow off the help of... it could just be those small jobs. Doesn't have to be a committee position. We thank all those that do hold down a committee position, but it could just be those one-off jobs. Many hands make light work, and whatever you can do to help out your club, even if it's just run a small event, might be a mega bowl event on a Friday night at your club that gets a few people down to your club, playing and introducing people to bowls. But anything you can do to help is brilliant. And
I even say to people, you finish your gala, you finish your pennant game, pick the mats and the jacks up, put them back for your greenkeeper or your bowls coordinator, just helping out. And one of the big ones, if you want to help out in getting juniors in your club, you can get a Working with Children check and you can start a junior program, and it's just all about having fun with the kids and getting them out on the green.
It is. And
it is fulfilling. And that's another part of our game, which is the future. We need to make sure that we've got juniors coming through. And some states are doing really well. Others are a little bit behind, but volunteers can make that work.
Yeah, so both our lads got the back right corner covered with their first bowls.
And looks like Bob's back on it.
Yeah, Bob's corrected well. Isn't it, Kyle, fun how often you see that one bowler might not get necessarily into the jack with their first, and then the other bowler follows them out there?
Well, it's the correction. I play lead in fours, and first jack's in the ditch, and the second one's close. That's how I work it. Yeah. So I leave one on the green.
So we've gone 12 ends so far in this contest, and we haven't seen more than a 2 scored. But unfortunately for Luke Gleeson, he's conceded the last 5 ends of the match. It was 6-4. Margin has extended out to 14-4. What has he got here? Not enough.
But that's what Luke's doing. Every end he's putting one within the mat length, just keeping it down.
Yep.
It's been there or thereabouts, hasn't he? Bob just, getting 1 or 2 closer.
Yep.
And,
and you're right, it's happened on every single end. But he is due.
And the nature of round robin play too, it's the day's not over after your first game. Win or lose. We saw plenty of 2-game winners go through yesterday. Yep. So
we did, and it's so good to see some players that they might have thought coming up here that they weren't really a chance of getting through their group, and sometimes they can surprise you. And of course, it is very dependent on your draw, because if you end up with Aaron Sheriff in your group, then you'd be feeling a bit doomy and gloomy. But you never know.
As we said, Aaron's sitting back having high tea at the moment. He finished 10 minutes before 10 o'clock, 50 minutes in.
Well, the guy's just won 2 World Championships in at the start of May. The World Bowls Indoor Championships at Warilla. What a tournament that was. Last 3 wins all went to one-end tie-breaks.
Yeah, incredible.
Against Dan Salmon in the quarters.
And
Martin Puckett in the semis, sorry. And then,
sorry, mate. Yep.
And then the final against Andrew Kelly of New Zealand. That's right. Thanks, Lockie.
Our statistician, our David Middleton of bowls, is in the background there. Lockie Williams. Now, just with Aaron Sheriff, just such a down-to-earth bloke too. He's just such a down-to-earth guy. Have a chat with anyone out here. And as you said, he's a world champion.
Now Bob's putting a good bowl there behind, obviously holding one jack high. The danger is that Jack will move if Luke plays any weight through his own.
I can tell you that Omar's win was 21-2.
Wow. Just had another big win in front of us too, 21-3. So Bateau Bay playing Streaky Bay. Not sure who the winner was there, but...
Well, we know a Bay won.
Yeah, that's it.
That looks like Terry Hughes from Bateau Bay, which is on the central coast of New South Wales, has picked that game up.
Yeah, that's a good start to his campaign.
Of course, we've got Darren Morrison over there playing, and Darren from the Ettalong Beach Memorial Club down on the Central Coast as well. Moved from Marylands this year to Ettalong.
Yep. Just another one there to Bob Thwaite, edging ever closer to that victory. That's now 6 ends in a row. Led 6-4. Now it's 15-4. Colin Bray on the comments. Get a Jackaroo or Rising Star in your section makes it all the better. Great experience.
Good on you, Colin. Yeah, the nature of the Australian Open, you can play other club bowlers or you can play the world's best. And either way, it's a good day out, that's for sure.
Certainly. I remember last year, Barry Lester and Matthew Lucas were in the same section, which was very interesting. Baz got through that one. Unfortunately for him yesterday, didn't get through.
Well, if you've got to think about it. If you get a sectional draw and you've got a Jackaroo in there, you look at it and say, well, I'm not expected to win. So you lose all that nerve. You just go out there and play the game then. You go, well, it's whatever happens, happens. I'm not expected to win, so if I win, well, that's fantastic. There's no pressure then. It comes off. Enjoy the experience.
Yes, Bob not far away with his first bowl again here. And 13 ends into the game. Bob's only dropped 3 ends so far. So,
and of course, there is a chance that you score. And, if you were going into the Australian Open in tennis and you're in the first round, you draw someone like a Rafa, you're not going to score. You're barely going to get a point. Maybe they might double fault once or twice. But, yeah, at least there's a chance that you might score 1 or 2 shots. And, that's something you can say. Tell your grandkids, I scored. I scored against the Jackaroo or one of the best in the world.
There was the 13th end back in the Australian Open in 2023, and I took a 2 against the world champion. He beat me 21-2, but yeah, I know what you're saying.
I took it too.
It's a beautiful story.
It is.
Looks like Luke might have picked up that shot too. He might have just got past there.
I reckon I'm still favouring Bob here for that shot. Looking at the angle on screen.
This one's got decent weight too. Just
Yep.
touch wide, but I'm going to replicate that weight with his next.
Well, I'll vote Luke. I think Luke may have it just, but remember, I haven't had my eyes checked for a while. Luke's just going to follow himself down here and try and turn his in.
Yeah, both players have very deliberate pre-shot routines, taking quite a bit of time on the mat. Luke might have just got the result there he needs to tip his into shot.
I'll call that one now. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, Bob with a fixed stance. So it's interesting to see. They've said that you can watch 100 different bowlers and often see 110 different deliveries and stances. So you do see a lot more bowlers taking on the fixed stance these days, putting 1 foot forward and not moving much with their delivery.
And it's not about how you look or how you deliver it. It's where it ends up. That's the key, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, certainly not. Especially if anyone's seen me deliver my bowls. So.
Well, they will tomorrow. It's at Mackenzie Park. What time? 9 o'clock?
9 a.m. Get there and watch Wally play.
Yeah, it's been unfairly known as the pump and dump delivery. Yeah, so.
That's so effective, I've heard.
It is.
It's so not.
Picked up a pennant title down there.
Yeah, well,
and you are the...
there are 15 other players in that team.
But that's okay. Part of the team.
You've won the most Eagles out at Survivor, so it must work at Darebin. Lockie Williams quickly catching you, though.
Absolutely. Luke looking to get another roll out of that front bowl of his.
Ooh.
So close.
Harry Callahan saying he'd pay the entry fee for a game to play against an international. Great experience. And then Philip Lubke as well. Aaron Sheriff plays a pennant teammate of mine in the next round, and I know that he's looking forward to that experience. But right here, Bob Thwaite just looking to put the stranglehold on.
Yeah, he came down to have a look at the head. Understandably, he's just probably said looking for one roll out of his own. He's no doubt going to play the backhand.
Dean saying, Wally, you've got the best delivery I've ever seen.
Dean Curran. Good on you, Dino. So, bowls coordinator these days out at the Middle Park. Great bloke, Dean. Lots of spending some time with him on the greens at Darebin.
Yep.
The season before last. Bob's bowl coming in. He just hasn't quite found the weight. The right idea. He's really just... Yeah, so this could be Luke's first score for a little while here.
I still think I might be favouring Bob for shot here. I'm not sure. From my angle, I could be very wrong.
Well, Luke's now trotting down for a look.
He's brought his bowl. I think he might just pop it next to the jack now and run back. No, he's going to take it with him. There was no indication from the marker, though.
Yeah, the paddle might have gone up quickly. I couldn't see from here or on the screen, but the shadow. But Luke having a close look. There's a fairly safe shot on for him anyway, I would think, playing forehand rolling through his bowl. Even if he gets the split, he'll probably get some sort of result. But yeah, you can understand the situation. He hasn't scored for 6 ends. Really like to get back to score here and probably change the length.
Lucas Protopappas joining the commentary. I'll read you his comment in a second.
No, the bowl's away. Luke giving this one a good stare.
He is. Where's that turning? Where's it going?
We're not going to hit Bob's, is it?
Oh.
Rock and roll Bob's. Righto.
Now let's see.
We'll find out who is holding here.
That could have been a disaster.
Well, our marker Bronwyn's put the red paddle back in her pocket.
Yeah,
so
and Vivian saying the marker showed one blue. That's what she got
blue,
on her.
There you go. So well spotted,
screen.
Vivian. Couldn't quite see that.
So
from
well
her.
spotted, Val. Thank you very much. I called one.
Yep, good stuff, Val. 1 to you. And Bob continues to score.
It's just death by 1,000 needles here. Just slow burn, but he's just churning through the shots here. He's within 5 of victory now, Bob Thwaite.
Yeah, time's starting to run out now for Lukey.
Lucas Protopappas saying that I heard the Tigers got lucky last night, Val. There's no such luck involved.
Was that Lucas?
Yeah.
Yeah, I went to the cafe yesterday to get a coffee and a biscuit, and they had no biscuits left. I didn't know what had happened. She said, "We're sold out, I'm sorry."
Yeah.
Thank you, Lucas.
I'm not sure Lucas would have paid for them, though. Yeah, Lucas. Now Lucas is working in the right at home marquee or right at home stall in our marquee tent, and they've got pens in there that they're giving away. Now, I don't know if this was done by his design, but I have a feeling that it was. The pens are only red and black colour. Now, for those who know Lucas, he's a massive Essendon supporter. He says that he didn't choose the colours, but I know that he did.
You said they're giving them away. He charged me $1 for mine.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Oh,
What's going on? No, we know Lucas. Lovely, lovely young man.
always a smile on his face.
Yeah,
Loves a biscuit.
Smiley. Loves a biscuit. Loves a smile. Loves his Bombers. Yeah. And
Loves his bowls too.
And if he's listening in, the Blues got to be a big chance this week. Don't they, Lucas? So.
Oh, Lockie's sitting here too while he's an Essendon fan, so don't let him stress. Big game tonight.
Yeah. So, yeah. Tough one to call, that one.
Mm. So
It was a great starter here from Luke.
He just needs to get himself on the board.
Needs momentum. He needs to start moving forward, yeah. It's, as you said, it's a long way back from here. I'm doing ones.
7 ends in a row have gone the way of Bob Thwaite.
And if we put it down to anything, we'd just say consistency for Bob.
Mm.
Yeah. And look, Luke has been pretty consistent as well, because you're right, Wally, he's had one in there the entire time.
Thereabouts.
And
sometimes it's taking a response like this from Bob. Wow, that's another great bowl from Bob.
Great bowling.
And I think the tail of the tape was in that, I think it was in the third end possibly, when Luke was 3 down, went to 3 up, and Bob got one in there to secure a shot.
Yeah,
and I think you just knew that Luke was going to be thereabouts, but
Yep.
Bob was always going to have the answer, and that's exactly what's proven to be the case.
Yeah, the jack had moved a fair way. Bob had to change his line and length and still drew a shot within a few inches. So it was it was a real early chance for Luke to get a multiple, and haven't looked seeing a 3 scored since, really, have we? It's all been 1s and 2s so far this game.
So we haven't, no 3s or 4s, and yesterday there were an abundance of them. Got 56 minutes left of the time limit. I dare say we'll be getting through despite, or possibly if there's a big comeback from Luke, but see what happens. That's why live sport is the best form of entertainment, because there is no script.
So, yeah, Luke just changing hands, and his second bowl just come up a bit shy. It's, Bob looking to probably tuck that jack away. It's another very good bowl.
Great effort there.
Holding 2 currently.
I was watching, I had a little bit of a browse on the television last night, and some wrestling came up. That wasn't scripted, was it? I'm sure it wasn't.
No, that is definitely.
That was live. I saw a suplex and a pole driver, and I thought, that's just random.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. It's never been for me, wrestling.
I flicked past real quick, don't worry.
Must have been, I haven't watched much wrestling since the old Hulk Hogan days, and that's showing my age.
Oh, you saw and a few of our mature listeners of The Sheik. The Sheik passed away this week, which is unfortunate. He used to wrestle around with Hulk Hogan and Andre the Giant and a few others. Here we are, talking wrestling on a bowls telecast. Sorry, peoples, but
Not sure that's ever been done.
Meanwhile, Luke, another great bowl, jack high. He wasn't far off drawing the shot there, but
then again, see, it's probably still 1 to.
It is, yeah.
It was 2 down, and now it's only 1. And again, he's there.
He is, yeah. Luke probably got 2 almost within a mat. One's a mat width, one might be a mat length, and he's still down.
Bob can come down here and make contact with Luke's bowl on that backhand. He's definitely going to pick up. He may pick up a third here.
Yeah, interesting. Is he playing the forehand here?
He's playing the forehand with
a
little bit of intent.
Yeah, so anything under Luke's, and he's probably going to get the result. He might even slice this. Oh, he has.
What has that done now?
So.
What has that done? That might have given...
Yeah, so Bob's holding 1, if not 2. It has moved a fair way.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say 3 there.
So 3?
Mark has indicated 2.
I've been wrong before, and will be wrong again.
Yeah, so Luke can play the same hand he's been playing the backhand and just find a bit of extra weight.
So this is massive. If he can possibly get something here.
He's got the line he needs. It's all on the weight now.
Yep. I think, he looks okay. Is it going to drop past?
Yeah, it's a good effort. Flops in. Oh, don't know.
He's been given a pat on the back by Bob.
He may have just broke his run of outs. Oh, no, hang on. Oh, maybe it was an early pat on the back there from Bob. Probably from the other end, that looked like Luke's shot for sure. Oh, but now they get down for the tape.
Has Luke Gleason ended the run of 7 consecutive ends lost?
I don't know whether Bob was happy to concede. I think he was just happy that Luke had got one in there, a bit of a pat in the back.
Yeah, I think probably from this end it looked like Luke might have drawn it off, but it's definitely a look. Oh, it's another one to Bob, it looks like.
Oh, no. Luke is clasping this mat desperately. He wants it. Are we getting the umpire? Oh, it's 1 to Bob.
It's 1 to Bob.
And he says, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, he's looking for a second there for just a moment, but 17-4 after 15.
The last 3 ends have all been 1 to Bob.
Yeah.
Oh, this is... He didn't want to give away the mat. He had it in his hand. He thought he might have had it. And
I think out of the hand on the walk down. And when he walked up and had a look at the head, I think he thought he had it. That's why he grabbed the mat.
Yep. And even Bob said, I'm so sorry, Luke, but I'm not sorry at the same time.
No.
Give me the mat. Oh,
yeah, sorry.
Cruel sport.
Sorry, not sorry. But no, when you're here to win, now, yep, Bob just lengthening out a bit.
It was such a good effort from Luke as well. Of course, the 2023 Australian Open proudly presented by APA, helping you live the good life and play bowls.
Kyle, beautiful part of the world you come from. So it's, it's strong bowls region, isn't it?
Well, yeah, we're looking at, like, I'm a Central Coast boy, Newcastle, Hunter Valley all my life, but you look at the area we've got there, Raymond Terrace, Charlestown, very strong clubs, down to, even Darren Morrison's club, Ettalong, Curry, Maitland City. You've got some brilliant clubs there, and it is a very strong area for bowlers. And we talked about Matthew Bouse, Lee Schreiner. You've got Daniel Hill, stateside selection this year. Yeah, haven't got this type of weather at the moment down there. This is beautiful up here. The greens. What we've found at the moment is a lot of clubs are turning to synthetics in our area, mainly because we do get frost in the winter, and it is extremely hot in the summer lately. But you get your heat up here, but there is a bit of humidity. But we're definitely turning more to synthetics on the Central Coast and in the Hunter area. Some clubs have retained their grass, but it's completely different here in Queensland.
Yeah, and some good undercover venues and some beautiful locations.
Yeah, the Hunter Valley, with our wine growing area, the best wine in the world, they say. You know, we rely basically on coal and wine for our exports and for a lot of our jobs there. So we talk about the future of certain things and environmental factors, but those two industries actually consume a lot of water and dig a lot of holes, but they do in fact create wealth for our people. And when I say wealth, we're not all rich, but they give us roofs over our heads in our area, and they support our bowling clubs. A lot of the people up there support our bowling clubs too.
So what has Luke Gleeson got? The margin was 6-4 at one stage. That is 8 ends in a row to Bob Thwaite.
Yeah, and Bob's just opened the door slightly here for Luke. It's unusual for probably both of Bob's first two bowls not to be within a mat length.
But Bob's corrected well most times, and I think he has that ability on every end just to correct.
Yeah, just taking a bit of extra time with this third bowl. Not sure if he's quite got the grass here. Needs to hold a fair bit. Okay, well,
Probably.
Luke.
Don't think that's done enough.
No.
So
It's funny how quickly games can change. It's it just only takes an end or two, get a bit of confidence up, and can never rule someone out of a game. But yeah, Luke does need to score soon. That's for sure.
Line is better. What's he got? I think he's going to drift through.
Yeah, the green definitely quickening up now too. Quite a bit of turn.
What's Bron going to say here too, guys?
Yeah, Bron's.
Well, knowing Luke's luck, it's going to be one to Bob.
Yeah, she's pointing to one of Bob's bowls.
There you go.
Yep.
There you go.
But it's open here. What's Bob's best option to try and cover this up and get a second?
Yeah, I think his weight was good on his last, so look, same weight. Just throw it a bit wider and... Yeah, he's got a better line. He's probably going to get down around about where his shot bowl is. If he can get past that front one, of course. Not quite.
Here we go. This is
Righto.
probably his best opportunity here, Luke
Yeah.
Gleeson, to get on the board.
Yeah, again, Luke taking a bit of extra time with this one too.
Might as well.
Important end. Important bowl.
What's he got? Has he got
Needs
the legs?
to hold. Touch.
Has he got
And-
the legs? Luke
Might
Gleeson.
not quite be there. Yeah, Bron was pretty confident calling the left-hand blue
Yeah, I think it's one to Bob again.
as we look at the vision. Yeah, Bob's got
Bob.
his finger up pretty confidently. Luke walking
Yep.
around and, yep, one to Bob. That's 4 ones in a row.
Oh, I said death by 1,000 cuts before, and I'll be death by 2,000.
Yeah.
It's just edging away here.
Yeah, Luke just desperate to score. It was 6-4 after 7 ends, so we're now 12 shots in a row, and you're doing the count on the number of ends.
16 ends played.
Yep, so 9 ends in a row. 9 ends and 12 shots in a row to Bob.
So 16 ends played. 8 of those have resulted in a 1 to Bob Thwaite.
But most of the ends we've played could have gone either way. There hasn't
That's
been
exactly right.
It's been a 1 or a 2, and it's Luke's just been on the wrong side of the measure every time.
Just one of those days, isn't it, for him? And yeah, not an easy one to take at times, but I think that there's a lot of positives for him, despite what that scoreline looks like, that we haven't seen a 3. But now Bob firmly in that checkout zone within an end of victory. I dare say we won't be seeing a 3, but I've been wrong before.
Wouldn't be many games, though. We wouldn't see 3s or 4s at all, the whole game.
No, yeah, it's been really bizarre. And singles is probably the format where we tend to see a lot of maximums. where we see 4s scored.
Yeah. And Bob, good first bowl again. So just making it hard for Luke to score. You can see that with this sort of form why Bob went so deep in the Gateway District Singles, being runner-up. Gateway, another strong region for bowls up here in Queensland, south of Brisbane.
No, Luke's not here again, unfortunately. What's Bob going to do? Is he going to change to his backhand here or stick with the forehand?
It looks like it, Kyle, doesn't it? He's just worried about where Luke's one ended up.
Jason Pinnock, good morning, guys. Have a great call today.
G'day, Jace.
Morning, Jason.
Jason's out west at the moment, celebrating his dad's birthday.
Happy birthday, Dad.
Yeah, hope it's a great day for Jason's dad.
I think it might have been yesterday, or it could be today, but Jason, of course, being our Northern New South Wales regional bowls manager with BA, does a great job with the clubs out there, and of course, Zone 1 being the Interzone champion this year. I think Bob might be very disappointed with that second bowl of his too. He really wanted to be up.
Yeah, he changed hands and
he's going to crash here.
Yeah, Luke's run into his own bowl. Bob.
And drifting underneath Bob's. So
Bob
that
may change hands again here, back to the forehand.
Yep, it's opened up for him. So holding 1 currently. That'll put him on a live 19-4 score.
He's just about on the springboard, isn't he, Bob?
Yeah,
now?
he's so close to finishing this one off. And I tell you what, this one's not a bad effort. Putt finds the gap, so I dare say that one's going to remain at 1.
Yeah, Luke does have a clear road now to get to Jack, so he's moved his own out of the way. Some tight games going on around the rest of the green too. I'm seeing a 16 all, 16-18, 15 all, 13-14. So the other sections here on green 4 are looking very open. Luke looks like he's got the weight, but it's run through a touch.
Gone a bit too wide, so...
Yeah, Bron's got 1 paddle up there, so it is only 1 to Bob.
Looks that way. That crashed bowl has moved, or moved Luke into second. So Bob looking for another one here to end his run of 1s, really. He's scored 4 in a row.
And Bob needs to find a way to Luke's. He has.
And he's done enough.
He's drawn another. Yeah.
Great bowl.
So this is huge, because if Luke Gleason can't do anything about it...
This will cause Luke some pause for thought. Yeah, he's walking down to the head. Probably is a little weighted shot he can see, I would think.
The damage here, if he plays the forehand, misses Bob's front bowl or misses the little gathering there, he could end up taking out his bowl, which is currently the 3rd. That's the issue.
Yeah, does he play a little bit of reaching weight on the backhand under his own? Looks like he's lining up forehand.
Luke Gleason trying to get on the board for the first time since end number 7.
Played sort of reaching weight, but it's going to be a touch too wide.
Yeah, won't trouble the scorers, that one, unfortunately.
So they'll confirm, but they will confirm that it's going to be a 2 to Bob Thwaite, and he moves within a solitary shot of victory. And the run of 10 ends in a row now. The margin was 2, and it was 6-4. And since then, we've gone 1-2, 1-2, 2, 1-1, 1-1, 2 in favour of Bob Thwaite.
Predictions, last end.
Seems that way. This has been the end that Luke Gleason has typically or struggled on more so.
Well, he hasn't scored coming this way. So his 3 scores so far have been going
to the
towards
beach.
The beach. Yeah. It's but it only takes one end to change the game.
It does.
Bob just hasn't been giving Luke much of a chance. We'll see.
Does he have a bit of fun and go Jack Ditch here?
Yeah, you would, wouldn't you, Val? That was
100%.
Yeah. That'd change the game.
Have 4 cracks at it every time and see what you can do.
Seen players do that in the past. I've seen Disco do that in a gold
Yes.
medal match one
Yep.
time. Yeah.
This one is well short. So it's
Chance
just
for-
been one of those matches for Luke Gleason. He's been close, but not close enough.
We talk about those breakout ends. This is where Luke can pick up 3 or 4. I know Bob's on 20, but Luke might then say, hey, I've got a chance if I just keep doing what I've been doing and luck goes my way.
Yeah.
He's got 1 here.
Yeah, that's a statement of the obvious, but he does need to pick up something now, doesn't
Yep. Well, he can't afford to lose an end for the rest of this contest. That's
he?
it.
Exactly. This is it. It's
But-
sudden death.
The last one is the hardest one to get.
Yeah, just a reminder that we are playing 21 up, so we're probably going to be okay for time. So we're an hour and 37 in.
This one's definitely not going to be short. He doesn't want to crash here, Bob Thwaite. And that's exactly what he's done.
The door is open.
Yep.
You know, I remember last year out at Tugan, in a singles game, I led 20 to 12, and I needed 1, and I ended up winning 21-20. So it's just the hardest. It's the hardest shot to get.
Yeah.
Certainly is.
Hopefully a few of Luke's friends from Broadford watching in, though, cheering him on. So the day is not over. So even if you lose your first game, there's still 2 more games in this round-robin format. So,
And I think the good thing for Luke is that, while the score might not look flattering, if you continue to look at what the match has produced in terms of the end scores, it's been close. We haven't seen a 3 at all.
no, that's it. Oh, Bob doesn't like that one either.
He does that, but he does that when he'll turn his back on them and shake his head, and they'll come all right.
It's going to end up all right. It is. You're right. You're spot on.
How did he shake his head at that? That's going to
geez.
almost touch the jack.
If I'm playing poker against Bob and he does that,
Oh,
I'm
no.
folding.
Yeah.
Did look good all the way, didn't it? His
It
head
looked
was
perfect.
His head went straight down like he didn't like it.
Shake his head, and no, he's got a straight.
Yeah.
Off we go. No,
Yeah.
I'm out.
Right, no. Well, so Luke desperately needing something here. He's got to hurry a touch. Oh, okay.
Well, take nothing away from Bob, but Luke's played well. It's just been
Yes.
those ends. It's the measures. There's been half a dozen measures that's just been the wrong way for him. So this match could have gone either way, but at the moment it looks like it might be going the way of Bob Thwaite.
Yeah. And does Bob just get something in behind here? He only needs the 1. Doesn't. He could try to tuck the jack away, but probably no need to. Just get in behind. Playing respot rules here at the Australian Open. Oh, okay. Probably he was trying to maybe just tuck it away, but there is a little running shot that Luke could play now. He's got his own to push onto shot bowl.
He's come across the backhand, it looks like.
Yeah, so I dare say he will be playing weight. Game on the line here.
Here it is. Holding game. Luke Gleason.
And I think we're about to shake hands, gentlemen.
Yeah, that
We
looks
are.
like that is. But great effort, Luke, but very well played to Bob Thwaite from Cleveland and Queensland. Wins.
So he finished that with 3, 6, 9, 11 ends in a row there, Bob Thwaite. That is a massive finish to the contest.
remembering it was 6-4, and
Yep.
Luke actually scored the first shot of the game too.
Yep.
So Yeah, got off to a good start, but
Yep.
Bob just relentless with the pressure, especially with those first and second bowls.
Yep,
setting up the
absolutely
victory.
magnificent performance from him, from the Cleveland exponent there. Bob Thwaite gets the job done 21-4 in a brilliant start to his Australian Open campaign. Still plenty more action to come here on day 2 of the 2023 Australian Open. We've got our session at around about 11:45 in an hour's time. That could change, so like the Bowls Australia page, Facebook page, and put your notifications on and you will be notified as soon as we go live. Chris Wallace, you're not going to be joining us for the second match, but you'll be back for match number 3. Thank you very much for your efforts.
Well, thanks, Val. Thanks, Kyle. See you a bit later in the day.
We'll
Thank
be
you
here. Good
very
on.
much, Kyle Langley. I'll
Cheers,
see
Val.
you at 11:45 a.m. Val Febo, Chris Wallace and Kyle Langley joining you on Ringside Live, presented by APIA, who are proud to support the event volunteers and officials at the 2023 Australian Open. Of course, Tourism and Events Queensland and Major Events Gold Coast for helping us put this wonderful event together, proudly supported by the Queensland Government as well. It's fantastic to have their support with this Australian Open. They are absolutely brilliant. Plenty more still to come at the Australian Open, but it was Robert Thwaite defeating Luke Gleeson 21-4 at Broadbeach.